The world is not for evil people, no matter how much they believe it to be for them. Welcome to section 2 of chapter 28 of the Holy Quran. 28 is Surah Al-Qasas, that the narration. Namshi. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَتْ أَشُدَّهُ وَإِسْتَوَى آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَإِلْمًا. Well, it's still about Musa or Moses. When he reached full age, Balaga Ashudahu, full age, and was firmly established, Istawa was firmly established into brackets in life, into brackets in life. Istawa Ateinahu Hukman wa Ilman. We bestowed on him wisdom, Hukman, and knowledge. We bestowed on him wisdom and knowledge. For thus do we reward those who do good. وَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. So viewers, you see there is wisdom and there is knowledge. This is what God is telling us. We have knowledge apart and then wisdom apart. There are two different things, even though they may be connected. All right. The note to read is 3340. Full age, full age, Ashudahu, may be taken to be mature youth, any between 18 and 30 years of age, full stop. By that time, a person is fully established in life, full stop. His physical build is completed, and his mental and moral habits are formed, full stop. In this case, as Moses was good at heart, at heart, true and loyal to his people, and obedient and just to those among whom he lived, he was granted wisdom and knowledge from on high, to be used for the times of conflict which were coming for him, full stop. His internal development being complete, he now goes out into the outer world where he is again tried and proved, until he gets his divine commission. Let's go to the next sign. Oh my God. Let's go to the next sign, which is sign 18. This was sign 14. Sign 18. ودخل المدينة على حين حفلة من أهلها. And he entered the city at a time when the people were not watching. The people, when its people were not watching. Alahina gaflatan mean aliha gaflatan were not watching. فوجدنا فيها رجلين فوجدنا فيها رجلين يقتتلان and he found there two men fighting, yaktatilani. Haza min shi'ai haza min shi'atihi wa haza min aduwihu. Mm. Two men fighting. One of his own people. Min shi'atihi, his own people, and the other of his foes. Aduwihu. Uh, فوكزه موسى فكذا عليه. فوكزه موسى فكذا عليه. And the other of the foes, yes, and the other of his foes. Oh, sorry, we did it. One, the enemy, and the other of his foes. Now, the man of his own people appealed to him against his foe, and that is فوكز موسى فكذا عليه. قال هذا من عمل الشيطان. قال هذا من عمل الشيطان. No. I missed something. فكذا منه موسى عليه. قال هذا من عمل الشيطان. And Moses, no. Now the man of his own people appealed for him against his foe. فوكزه موسى فكذا عليه. And Moses struck him with his fist. فكذا عليه. قال هذا من عمل الشيطان. And killed him. فكذا عليه. And killed him. قال هذا من عمل الشيطان. And killed him. He said, this is a work of Satan. So, in other words, Moses was not happy that he killed him. He didn't intend to kill him. And he says, this is the work of Satan. هذا من عمل الشيطان. إنه عدو مضل مبين. إنه عدل مضل مبين. إنه عدل مضل مبين. For he is an enemy that manifestly misleads. Mudillun. Mubinun, manifestly. Note to read. It's 3341. 3341. That they may have been that may have been either the time of the noontime siesta, when all business is suspended, even now in Egypt, full stop, or the time of night, when people are usually asleep, full stop. The latter is more probable, that's midnight, is more probable. The latter is more probable in view of verse 18 below. We are yet together in view of verse 18 below. But there is also another suggestion, full stop. A guest in a palace is now free to wander about at will. To wander about at will in the plebeian quarters of the city at all sorts of hours. And this applies even more to an inmate of the palace brought up as a son. Brought up as a son. Moses was therefore visiting the city privately and eluding guards, and eluding guards. Full stop. His object may have been to see for himself how things were going on. Semicolon. Perhaps he had heard that his people were being oppressed, as we may suppose that he had retained contact with his mother. And that's note 3341 to sign 15. There is a second note, 3342, coming, 3342, which is against fists. He struck him with his fist. For Wakazahu Musa, he struck him with his feet. 3342. This object, no, his object was apparently to strike him so as to release the Israelite. So as to release the Israelite, not to kill the Egyptian. Not to kill the Egyptian. Full stop. In fact, he killed the Egyptian. This was unfortunate in more ways than one. His visit to the city was clandestine. Semicolon. He had taken the side of the weaker and despised party of the weaker and despised party. Semicolon. And he had taken the life of an Egyptian. Full stop. He was full of regrets and repentance, and he prayed to God and obtained God's forgiveness. I suppose here we've gone ahead of the note. This note may be for the next sign. Anyway, let's see. And that's 3342. No, 3342 to sign 15. Let's go to sign 16. Kala Rabbi inni zalamtu nafsi. He prayed. So Kala here is he prayed. Oh my Lord, I have indeed wronged my soul. Inni zalamtu nafsi. فاغفر لي فغفر له فاغفر لي فغفر له. Do thou then forgive me. Do thou then forgive me. So God forgave him. So God forgave him. God is not in the Arab text, so it is there as brackets in the English side. So forgive him, it doesn't make sense. So God forgive him. فغفر له إنه هو غفور رحيم. So God forgave him, for he God is oft forgiven, most merciful. It doesn't seem like there is any note to it. No, there's no note to it. So let's go to 17. Kala Rabbi bima an amta ala bima an amta alayya. Kala Rabbi bima an amta alayya falam akuna zuhiran للمجرمين. He said, "Oh my Lord, for that has bestowed for that." He said, "Oh my Lord, for that thou hast bestowed by thy grace on me, never shall I be a help to those who sin." I don't know what that means. Maybe the Israelite the Israelites rather sinned. I don't know. We go on and we find out. Zahira li mujrimin. Uh, Zahira mean is here is to help. Zahiran lil mujrimin, to be a help to those who sin. 3343. He takes a conscious and solemn vow to dedicate himself to God and to do nothing that may in any way assist those who were doing wrong. That's justice. Mm. Apparently, he didn't even wait to see what happened between the Israelite and the Egyptian before hitting him. Mm. Okay. This was his general idea, but no plan had yet shaped itself in his mind until a second catastrophe brought matters to a head and he was plunged in adventure. That's no 3343 to sign 17. Let's go to sign 18. فأصبح في المدينة فأصبح في المدينة هائفا يترفب هائفا يترفب. And in the morning, Asbah, in the morning, he was in the city. Fi Madinatin, he was in the city, fearful and vigilant. Fearful and vigilant. eh, Fearful, ha ifan, fearful, ha ifan. Yatarakab. Fearful, vigilant. When behold, the man who had the day before, let me go to the other side first. فإذا الذي استنصره بالأمس, the day before بالأمس, that's yesterday or the day before. يستص يستصرخ 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 يستصرخه, the day before sought his help. يستصرخه, sought his help. قال له موسى, Moses said to him, قال له موسى, Moses said to him, إنك لغوي مبين, إنك لغوي مبين. Moses said to him, thou art truly one erring manifestly, la gawiyun mubinin. He came to him a second time looking for help, his help again. Pardon me. Apparently forgetting that in the first instance of helping him, Moses committed murder. And so Moses said, Innaka lagawiyun mubinin, thou art truly one erring manifestly. 3344 is the note to read. The man was an Israelite, but Moses was himself in a distracted mood for the reasons given in note 3342. Well, I think I said it. We went ahead of the sign of the verse. For the reasons given in note 3342 above, and he was exasperated at this public appeal to him again. That's 3343, no, 3343 to sign. No, it's 3344 rather. That's no, it's 3344 to sign 18. Let's go to sign 19. فلما أن أراد أن يبتش بالذي هو أدعون أدعون له أدعون لهما فلما أن أراد أن يبتش بالذي هو أدعون لهما قال يا موسى. Then when he was about to lay his hands on their enemy, the enemy of the two of them, lahumma, lahumma, uh, his hands on their enemy, the man said, "Oh Moses, ya Musa, at aturidu an aturidu antaktulani kama katala nafsan bil amsi." Eh? He said, "Oh Musa, is it thy intention to slay me as thou slewest a man?" So a second incident again in which Moses was sought for help again. And this second person, this second Egyptian said, do you want to kill me like you killed somebody yesterday? Hmm? Yeah, Bil Amsi, yesterday. In turidu illa an takuna jabaran fil ardi. In turidu illa an takuna jabaran fil ardi. The man continued, thou only desire to become a tyrant, jabaran, to become a tyrant in the land, fil ardi. فما تريد yeah. فما تريد أن تكون من المصلحين فما تريد أن تكون من المصلحين, and not to be one who sets things right. And not to be, let me go back a bit. Thou only desire to become a tyrant in the land, and not to be one who sets things right. Yes. So he's questioning Moses, you want to kill me again instead of finding out who is right? In other words, 3346. The Egyptian saw the situation. He said to Moses, are you going to do the same with me? Question mark. You are nothing but a bully. You are nothing but a bully. This commentary, in other words, that's what the man was telling Moses. In other words, you are nothing but a bully. Exclamation mark. And you talk of certain things right. Exclamation mark. That is what you should do if you were true to yourself. That's what you should do if you were true. If you are true to yourself. And that's no 3346. No 3346 to sign 19. Let's go to sign 20. وجاء رجل من أقصى المدينة يسعى قال يا موسى إن الملأ يأتمرون بك. And there came a man, وجاء رجل من أقصى المدينة, running from the furthest end of the city, أقصى المدينة. He said, قال يا موسى إن الملأ يأتمرون بك. He said, "O Moses, the chiefs are taking counsel together about you. Are taking counsel together about you." yaktamiruna bika. Eh? Likutluka are taking counsel about thee, to slay thee, Liktuluka. Mm. فإخرج 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 إني فإخرج إني لك من الناصحين إني لك من الناصحين. So get out. I am a warner to you. إني لك من المحسنين. So get thee away. So get thee away, for I do give thee sincere advice. Muhsinin. No 3347. No 3347. Apparently, rumors had reached the palace. A council had been held, and the death of Moses had been suggested. You kill me, I kill you. Eh? Nafsan. And the death of Moses had been suggested. I don't know whether they were right here because this very cruel and say Nafsan, Nafsan. You kill, you are killed. Sorry. Mm. Have been suggested. That's 3347. Let's go to 3348. Uh, فخرج منها فخرج منها خائفا يتركب فخرج منها خائفا يتركب. Here, he therefore got away therefrom. He therefore got away therefrom. That's from the city, looking about in a state of fear. Looking about in a state of fear. Ifan, in a state of fear. Yatarakabu, looking about. Mm. And in Arabic, it's the other way around. Kala, Rabbi, Najni, min kaumi zalimin. He prayed, "Oh, my Lord, save me from people given to wrongdoing." And that is sign 21, the last sign of section 3 of chapter 28 of the Holy Quran. I think we can proceed to the next section, which is section 3, which begins with 22. وَلَمَّا تَوَجَّهُ تِلْكَاءِ مَدِينَةُ Kala. Then, when he turned his face towards the land of Madian, the land of Is, in brackets, without it reads, when he turned his face towards Madian, فَلَمَّا تَوَجَّهُ تِلْكَاءَ Medina, when he turned his face towards the Medina, Kala, Asa Rabbi an yahtadiyani, Asa Rabbi an yahtadiyani. He said, I do hope that my Lord will show me the smooth and straight way. And yesterday, ni sabilan. Suwa and sabilan is the straight path, the smooth and straight path, the smooth and straight path. Note 3349 is its note for Psalm 22, 3349. Is east of Lower Egypt, for about 300 miles, runs the Sinai Peninsula, bounded on the south by the Gulf of Suez, and on the north by what was the Isthmus of Suez. Isthmus is spelled Isthmus, Isthmus of Suez, now cut by the Suez Canal, full stop. Over the Isthmus ran the high road to Palestine and Syria. But a fugitive could not well take that route, as the Egyptians were after him. If he could, if he could, after crossing the isthmus, plunge into the Sinai desert, cast or sorry, after if he could, after crossing the isthmus, plunge into the Sinai desert, east or southeast, he should be in the Madianite territory, and that's Madianite territory, where the people would be Arabs and not Egyptians. He turned thither and again prayed to God for guidance. And that's no 3349 to sign to sign 23. No, to sign 22. 3349 to sign 22. Let's now go to sign 23. Walamma warada, walamma marada wa ma'a Madina, walamma warada ma'a Madiana, ma'a Madiana. And when he arrived at the water place in Madian, eh, place is in brackets because the word place is not in the Arabic side. Without it, it reads, and when he arrived at the water in Medina, Ma'a Madiana. Did I say Medina? Madian. In the water. When he arrived at the watering, it's not water, at the watering, watering place, but here is without the place, at the watering in Madian. Wajada alayhi ummatan mina nasi yastakuna. No, let's stop at mina nasi. Wajada alayhi ummatan mina nas. He found there a group of people, ummatan mina nas, yastakuna wajada min dunihim amrataini wajada min dunihim imrataini. He found there a group of men watering in brackets, watering their flocks in brackets. In Arabic is sensible. Is watering means watering their flocks. And besides them, he found two women. وَوَجَدَ مِن دُونِهِمْ imrataini. Besides them, he found two women. Imrataini. Tazuruna. Imrataini tazudani. Sorry, imrataini tazudani. Pardon me, viewers, as I have a problem with my site. Tazudani. Found two women who were keeping back into brackets their flocks, who were keeping back their flocks, and that is tazudani. Kala mahat bakuma. He said, what is the matter with you two people? Bakuma. Kalata la taska hata yasdira ari they said, we cannot water our flocks until the shepherds take back their flocks. The shepherds, After Yezra Ari'a, the shepherds take back their flocks. Wa abu wa abuna shayhun kabirun. Wa abuna shayhun kabirun. Our father is old, shayhun. And our father is a very old man. It's a very old man. Wa abuna shayhun kabirun. And our father is a very old man. There are two news stories, 3350 and 3351. 50. The first thing that a wanderer in a desert would make for would be an oasis where he could get water from a spring or well, the shade of trees against the scorching sun, and some human company. Yeah. Traveling in the desert is a different thing from being in normal places in the world. They find human company. The Midianite watering place was probably a deep well, as surface springs are rare in sandy deserts. So it couldn't have been a spring or any other source of water except a deep well. In sandy desert, where the water level is low, unless there was a hill from which issued a spring. Full stop. Then we go to 51. 51 is against what? Very old man, Sheun Kabirun. Here is a pretty little idol. Yes, a pretty little idol. Idyll, in case I don't call it well. Pretty little idol, told in the fewest and most beautiful words possible. Full stop. Moses arrives at an oasis in the desert, weary and travel worn. Weary and travel worn. WORN. With his mind full of anxiety and uncertainty owing to his recent experiences in Egypt. Remember, he left in fear. Nobody likes death. Of course, he killed, but it was not intentional. Recent experiences in Egypt, full stop. He was thirsty and would naturally seek water, full stop. At the well or spring, he found shepherds. R-I. He found shepherds into brackets, or perhaps goat heads, hyphenated in brackets, or perhaps goat heads, watering their flocks, full stop. As a stranger, it was not for him to thrust himself among them. Thrust, THRUST, to thrust himself among them. He waited under the shade of a tree until they should finish. So if there was even a tree there, he must have been very lucky. He waited under the shade of a tree until they should finish, full stop. He noticed two damsels also waiting with their flocks, which they had come to water, full stop. His chivalry is spelled CHIVALRI. His chivalry was roused. His chivalry was roused, full stop. He went at once among the goat herds, made a place for the flocks of the damsels, made a place for the flocks of the damsels, gave them water, and then resumed his place in the shade. Good Samaritan. They were modest. They were modest. They were modest maidens. Sorry, they were modest maidens, and had given him in three Arabic words the key of the whole situation. Mm? Abu, Abuna Sheikhun Kabirun. Abuna Sheikhun Kabirun. Our father is very old. Mm? Our father is very old man. Our father is a very old man, and therefore cannot come to water the flocks. And that's why the females were there. Mm. We therefore do the work. We could not very well thrust ourselves among these men. So what happens was something out of the way. Females normally do not water animals, or do not take animals to go take care of animals, but they had to because the father couldn't do it because of old age or due to old age. And thus, yes, and that is no 3351 to sign the second note to sign 23. Let's go straight to sign 24. فسكى لهما ثم تولى إلى ذل. So he watered, into brackets, their flocks for them, lahuma, two of them. Then he turned back to the shade. Fatawalla ila zullin, ila azillin, ila azillin. Turned back to the shade. Fakala, Rabbi, inni lima ansalta ilayya min khairun fakirun. Min khairin fakirun. Uh, he said, "Oh my Lord, Rabbi," he said, "Oh my Lord, truly am I in desperate need of any good that thou doest send me." Desperate is in brackets. Without it, it reads, in need. Without the brackets, it reads, truly I am in need of any good that thou doest send me. Rabbi inni lima ansalta ilayya min heirin fakirun. The note to reach is 3352. 3352. The maidens are gone with smiles on their lips and gratitude in their hearts. And gratitude in their hearts. What were the reflections of Moses as he returned to the shade of the tree? Question. He returned thanks to God for the bright little vision which he had just seen. Full stop. Had he done a good deed? Question mark. Precious was the opportunity he had had. Full stop. He had slicked his test, but he was pardon me, viewers. He had slicked his test, but he was a homeless wanderer and had a longing in his soul, which he dared not put into words. Full stop. Those shepherds were no company for him. He was truly like a beggar in a desperate need. Full stop. For any little good that came his way, he was grateful. Full stop. But what was this? But what was this? Question mark. Dash. This vision of a comfortable household, Yeah, this vision of a comfortable household presided over by an old man, rich in flocks and herds, rich in flocks and herds, Herd, comma, and richer still in two daughters, as modest as they were beautiful, as modest as they were beautiful. Mm. Well, Moses will marry them, one of them at least. It's a question mark. Perhaps he would never see them again, exclamation mark. But God was preparing another surprise for him. Let's go to that's note 3352 to sign 25. Let's go to the next note. The notes are 3354. 3354. Uh, nothing could have been more welcome. Nothing could have been more welcome than such a message, comma, uh, and through such a, and through such a message, no, and through such a messenger, sorry, than such a message, and through such a messenger, full stop. Mm. Moses went, of course, and saw the old man. He found such a well ordered patriarchal household. Patriarchal is spelled Patriarchal. Patriarchal household, in case I don't pronounce it well. Full stop. The old man was happy in his daughters. The old man was happy in his daughters, and they in him. They made no. There, there was mutual confidence. Full stop. They had evidently described the stranger to him in terms which made his welcome a foregone conclusion. Full stop. On the other hand, Moses had allowed his imagination to paint the father in a something to paint the father in some to paint the father uh, in something of glorious colors in which his daughters had appeared to him like an angelic vision. Pardon me, like an angelic vision. Full stop. The two men got to be friends at once. That's father and Moses, the father of the two beautiful men, and Moses got to be friends at once. Moses told the old man his story, comma, and dash, who he was, how he was brought up, and what misfortunes had made him quit Egypt. Full stop. Perhaps the whole household, including the daughters, listened breathlessly to his tale. Listened, listened breathlessly to his tale. Perhaps their wonder had admiration. Perhaps their wonder and admiration were mingled with certain amount of pity. Dash, perhaps with some more tender feeling, in case of the girl who had been to fetch him. In case feeling in the case of the girl who had been to fetch him. In any case, the stranger had won his place in their hearts. Full stop. The old man, comma, the head of the household, assured him of hospitality and safety under his roof, as one with a long under his roof, full stop, under his roof, full stop. Then, as one with a long experience of life He congratulated him on his escape. Full stop. Who would live among unjust people? Question mark. And this in uh, inverted commas, single inverted commas. Who would live among unjust people? It is as well you are free of them. Exclamation mark. Single inverted comma closed. Comma is closed. Who would live among unjust people? It is as well. It is as well you are free of them. And that's note 3354. The second note to sign 25. Did we read the first? 3353. No, we didn't read it. Before that, 3353. Scarcely had he rested when one of the damsels came back, walking with bashful grace. Mm. Modestly, she gave her message. My father is grateful for what you did for us. Uh, he invites you that he may thank you personally and at least give some return for your kindness. I missed that. Pardon me. So that is the first note of sign 25. The second we've read already, we won't go back there. So viewers, you can connect them. After reading the first note, we then go back to read the second one. Time is against us. Okay. Now, let's go to the next sign, which is sign 26. Which is sign 26. Kalat idahuma ya abiti. Kalat idahuma ya abiti istajirhu. Said one of the damsels. Damsels is in brackets because it's not there in the Arabic side. Idahuma is what is there, one of them. Ya abiti, oh my father, engage him on wages. Engage him on wages. Istajirhu. Engage him on wages. Inna khairan. Inna khairan min istajirat. Inna khairan min istajarta. Inna khairan min istajarta. Al-kawiyun al-aminun. Truly, the best of men, for thee to employ is the man who is strong and trustworthy. Kawiyun aminun. Kawiyun, strong, trustworthy. Aminun. Who is strong is the man who is strong and trustworthy. Man is in brackets. Without it doesn't make sense. Of men for thee to employ is the one who is not. It should be there. It's the man who is strong and trustworthy. Note 3355 and 3356. Two notes in one. That's to sign. To sign 26. Note 3356 first. No, 3355 first, then 3356. 3355 first, 55 is to engage him in wages. Istajirhu. 3355. A little time passes. A guest, after all, cannot stay forever. They all feel that it would be good to have him with them permanently. The girl who had giving her heart, the girl who had given her heart to him, had spoken their unspoken thoughts. Pardon. Has spoken his unspoken thoughts. Why not employ him? Why not employ him to tend the flocks? Well, that's a beautiful idea. Instead of they the girls. Mm? Why not employ him to tend the flocks? Question mark. The father was old. The father was old, and a young man was wanted to look after the flocks. And there may be other possibilities and dash. There may be other possibilities. 3356. Strong and trustworthy. Worthy. Kawi Yun Amin. Moses had proved himself to be both. And these were the very qualities which a woman most admires in the man she loves. Okay, love is coming in. Hmm? All right, 3356. That's second note to sign 26. Let's go to sign 27. Kala, inni uridu an inkihaka ihda ibnataya ihda ibnataya uh, uh, ha ina ihda ha tina. He said, the old man, I suppose, he said, I intend to wed one of these my daughters to thee. Ihda Tena, one of my daughters, one of these daughters. Ala an tajurni thamanan, ala an tajurni tamana, ala an tajurni tamana, uh, tamana hijariju, tamana hijarjin. Uh, Let me go back a bit. He said, I intend to wed one of these my daughters to thee on condition that thou serve me for 8 years. Thamana Hejajin, 8 years. Uh, he asked, for in atmamta asharan, for me indaka, for in atmamta asharan, for me indaka. For 8 years. But if thou complete 10 years at Mamta, Asharan, if thou complete 10 years, it will be grace from thee. It will be grace from thee. Tamanan, for inna at Mamta Asharan, for me indaka, it will be a grace from thee. A grace is in brackets here. It's not there in the Arab text. If without the grace, it reads. Without the brackets, it reads. But if thou complete 10 years, it will be from thee. It will be from thee. In fact, I can see that he wanted Moses to stay even long. But at the same time, he was being just. He needed only 8 years. But if Moses can serve 10 years, good. That will be welcome. And like the commentator says, that will be grace from Moses. And of course, what will Moses do? He will accept, even if for more years. All right. Indaka. Wama uridu and ashuka aleka. I intend not to place thee under difficulty. Wama uridu and ashuka aleka. Ashuka, to please thee under difficulty. Uh, فَاسْتَجِرْنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. سَتَجِدُنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. That's the Father talking. Thou will find me indeed, if God wills, one of the righteous. So two strangers meeting, Moses on one part and the family of the old man on the other side. You find me one of the righteous. Note 3357. That is against 8 years, even though he would like it to be 10. 3357. A little time passed, and at length the father broached the subject of marriage. It was not for the fugitive to suggest a permanent tie, TIE, especially when in the wealth of this world, when in the wealth of this world, the girl's family was superior and they had an established position, while he was a mere wanderer. Full stop. The father asked if he could marry one of the daughters and stay with them for at least 8 years, or if he liked 10 years. But a longer term was at his option. Of course, if he marries the woman, uh, will there be time limit as to when he will stay there? That's the question. Okay, we stopped at his version. Term was at his option. Full stop. If he brought no dower, dower is spelled DOWER. In case I don't call it well. If he brought no dower, his service for that period was more than sufficient to lieu. It was more than sufficient in lieu of dower. So 8 years. Of course, he had nothing even. So he had to pay marriage price. He had nothing to pay marriage price, which is called dower. But 7, 8 years for them is enough in lieu of dower. The particular girl intended was no doubt tactily settled for. The particular girl intended was no doubt tactfully settled long before by the mutual attraction of the young hearts themselves. Full stop. Moses was glad of the proposal and accepted it. Okay, who wouldn't be glad? Eh? To get through catching, or what is this saying? Getting two things at once, or catching two birds with a single stone, getting accommodation and getting a wife. So Moses accepted it. They ratified it in the most solemn manner by appealing to God. Full stop. The old man, knowing the worth of his son-in-law, solemnly assured him that in any event he would not take advantage of his position to be a hard taskmaster. Taskmaster is hyphenated. To be a hard taskmaster, or to insist on anything inconsistent with Moses' interests. Should a new future open out to him? Full stop. And a new and glorious future was awaiting him after his apprenticeship. We shall get there, God willing. And that's note 3357 to sign 27. Let's go to the next sign, which is 28. Kala, Zalika, Kala zalika baini wa bainaka. He said, be that between me and thee. Be that between me and thee. I suppose that's the father of the ladies or the father of the damsels, as used by the commentator. And I believe that's the father of the damsels talking. Be that between me and you. But before that, there is brackets. Be that in brackets. Be that into brackets. The agreement between me and thee. Kala zalka beni wa beneka. Ayama. Ayama al. Ayama al ajelina. Ayama al ajelini. Whichever of the two terms, whichever of the two terms, ayama, whichever, al ajaleni of the two terms, kadetu, fala adwana aleya, fala adwana aleya. Whichever of the two terms I fulfill, let there be no injustice to me. I think this is Moses speaking. Let there be no injustice to me. Wallahu ala ma wallahu ala ma nakulu wakilun. Be God a witness to what we say. Ala ma nakulu. Wakilun here is witness. No, 3358. 3358. In particular, no, it's not particular, pardon me. In patriarchal society, it was not uncommon to have marriage bargain of this kind, conditional on a certain term of service. Full stop. In this case, the episode conveys two lessons. One, a man destined to be a messenger of God is yet a man, of course, and must pass through the ups and downs of life like any other man. Only he will do it with more grace and distinction than other men. And then two, the beautiful relations in love and marriage may themselves be a preparation for the highest spiritual destiny. Of course, better be married and be a messenger than be a messenger without marriage. Except Jesus Christ, alayhi salam. Two, the beautiful relations in love and marriage may themselves be a preparation for the higher spiritual destiny that may await a messenger of God. Full stop. A woman need not necessarily be a snare and a temptation. She may be the understanding helpmate. Hyphenated. He may be the understanding. He may be the understanding helpmate. Helpmate. Hyphenated. That the lady Hadija was to the prophet. That the lady Hadija was to the holy prophet. Of course, Hadija was worthy helpmate. Understanding helpmate. And that is no 3353, no 3358 to sign 28. And that is sign 28 is the last section of section 3. And so we've done two sections together, short sections, 2 and 3 together. And the last note, I think, is from the father of the babies when he said, be that the agreement between me and thee, whichever of the two terms I fulfill, let there be not injustice to us. Oh, that's Moses speaking, rather. That's Moses, because the father doesn't fulfill two terms. Uh-huh. Well, I can't tell. Viewers, I leave that to you. Mm. Either the father or Moses. It doesn't matter much. Mm. And so we shall pause here. When we come back in our next episode, we shall go to section 4, which begins with sign 29. Thank you very much. Ilalika, bye bye, May God be with you all.